Hi there guys, with the new update, and actually from last month as well, we received two new Keyblades recently. From Proud Mode quests 100 to 150, we got Counterpoint, and from the latest batch of story updates, we went to the new world and we got the new Stroke of Midnight Keyblade. So I've done a little bit of grinding for materials, and I thought, well, why don't we have a look at how these Keyblades level up, and sort of see maybe some strategies we can think of for using them to deal some good damage, kind of see what the pros and weaknesses are of each Keyblade. So I believe this is a Magic Oriented Proud Mode Keyblade, as in it's this very similar version to Sleeping Lion. People who've watched my content before will know that I keep Sleeping Lion at 17 for now, because obviously there's a shared pool of Electrum ore resources. If I dump them all into Sleeping Lion to get it up to level 25, you know, that'd be cool and all, but if I can't use it, then I can't use it, and I can't use it to level up Counterpoint. So I stopped at 17 because this is the first slot in which we got a dark reverse metal slot, and I think I'm going to do the same for Counterpoint. I can currently take it up to 60, so it's 50 for the first 20 levels and 50 for the next 5 for every Proud Mode Keyblade. So I can get it up to about, what is that, 22ish? Roughly 22ish right now, maybe only 21. Actually no, I think it's only 21. But I think I'm going to stop at about, let's say 16. I still got about 40 or so Proud Mode story quests to farm, at least, so I've got plenty more ores to get. But I think I like the strategy that I'm doing right now. If I don't need to spend them, I won't, but at the same time, you can only spend them on these, so... Well, sorry, and the Fenrir Keyblade that'll be coming out pretty soon, spoilers. Anyway, let's get started. So, mine's starting at level 1 right now. Let's go till we get a magic slot. Here we go. Okay, so right away that 2.1 buff becomes 2.10. This won't be too interesting for a while, but you do see that the gauges sort of rapidly jump up. Like, it doesn't take very long for it to become useful. This should upgrade now, slot 2 I believe. Okay, cool. So there's our reverse slot, we've already got it. So you can sort of see how the Keyblade's going to shake out. Most likely to be these two here being upright, so these 4 here are upright altogether, and this one's going to be reverse. It seems like all the Proud Mode Keyblades are based around one attribute and then one either upright or reverse of that attribute. So it's quite interesting. What that means though is that we're going to be waiting quite a while for a reverse based Keyblade, because I believe the next one will be a power upright. For some reason I'm taking a while, give me one sec. My delicious Australian Wi-Fi has been garbage as usual. Anyway, already at level 5, that's a 2.3 multiplier slot in that 5th slot. That's pretty good. I mean, how long did it take for the standard story mode Keyblades to get slots that high? I mean, there you go. At level 25, Starlight only maxes out at 2.35. So it's crazy how powerful these Proud Mode Keyblades become quite quickly. Anyway. Let's keep going. I think we'll stop at 17 just so we can do some comparisons with the previous Proud Mode Keyblade. Anyway. Yeah, 2.4, 2.5, so in no time at all, like for barely any Electrum ores, we're able to surpass, or that one slot at least is able to do a heck of a lot of damage. It's really interesting how they try and balance these ones out. 1.8. You can see it's starting to cost 3 Electrum ore per upgrade this time, so we're getting up there. Hopefully we get... Okay. The other slot's just starting to advance now. Cool. And I said 17, didn't I? Yes, so... Okay. Let's have a little look here. So, it should be balanced out from what I can understand. So if you look at the slot multipliers there, 1.7, 1.9, 2.0, 2.0, 2.5, and if people use that first slot as a buffer anyway, like say Sebastian or Ariel and Flounder or what have you, then a lot of the times it really doesn't even matter what that first slot is. Like I know I have Sebastian on this Keyblade here a lot of the time. If I'm not using Proud Mode setups, I usually have Sebastian in the front. Let me find an example. For goodness sake, there you go. I usually have Sebastian in the front. So on a Keyblade like Divine Rose, it's really irrelevant what goes in that first slot because I just have a buffer in there anyway that may or may not match the attribute. Like I have Aerial and Flounder that matches this attribute, but because of cost 1, I tend to keep Sebastian in there anyway, unless I desperately need second chance, so it's interesting, very interesting. So, show you the stats again there. Okay, so yeah, that one reverse slot, and this will be an upright slot as well. I still have 22 ores, but already that isn't that much, and I do want to hang on to a few. Like, I intend to get as many as I possibly can between Proud Mode Quest 100 to 150. Like I said, I have roughly 40 more quests to go. And that means that I'll be able to get my Fenrir up. Okay, we have to get 150 to 200 to be released as well. So we'll get another 50 ores there. And then after that, Fenrir will come in the next batch. So we can technically upgrade them as soon as they're available. Like, we can technically get, if we do all the quests and all the objectives, we can get Counterpoint and Sleeping Lion up to 25 right now. But what if we have like power medals that are much more beneficial to us, and we say, oh okay, I could spend my ores on Sleeping Lion to get him to 25. Him, I'm calling a Keyblade a him. I could do that, but I could also hang on to it and then boost my Fenrir up as soon as I get that Keyblade. I could boost it right up, because maybe I have the medals to deal with that. Now in my case, I think Counterpoint is probably the one I'm going to use the most, because I actually have things that can deal with that. See how powerful that's become with just a few decent, not even that good, magic medals popped in. Let's put a reverse magic medal in there. There you go. Maleficent right there. So yeah, without even trying too hard. I mean, strength is not that important. The stats on the top aren't that important, but you can see that it fills out quite nicely. Just to do a quick comparison, like 80,000 and 40,000, so about 120. What's my main Keyblade right now is Divine Rose, and that's a pretty strong setup there. And the stats are relatively balanced out, so it is interesting to see, very interesting to see that. Again, stats aren't that important, but it's just like a general idea of the multipliers that you can sort of use to get a handle on how strong a Keyblade is. We can see some pretty high slots coming out there, like that 2.6 is pretty crazy. And from what I've read, I believe it's these two slots, this one here and this one here, they get boosted quite high, but I could be wrong on that. Anyway, time will tell, and like I said, we will have enough Electrum ores to boost everything eventually. It's just a case of, do you have the medals to actually acquire them? But anyway, that was a bit of fun. Hope you like that. Let's do Stroke of Midnight. Now, Stroke of Midnight should be a little bit different. Mainly because it's a well, let's have a look and see what happens, huh? So I've gone ahead and farmed some small buttons and some of those handkerchiefs, which must be a lot of handkerchiefs running around that place. Anyway, let's level it up, see what happens. We don't really have to worry about silk handkerchief. Okay, the first red slot started to emerge. We don't really have to worry about like restrictions in terms of rare materials here, because it's just our standard materials. As you can see, I've got thousands of one of these bases, because they use bases a lot of times from other worlds. Like the Melted Candle comes from the Beauty and the Beast world, I'm pretty sure. The forest leaves or whatever come from that dwarf woodlands, and you should have hundreds, if not thousands of those things by now. Make sure I'm still recording, because I'm forever paranoid about that. You can see already that the multicolored nature of the blade is starting to come out. So we've got a powerful reverse power slot and a quite powerful upright magic slot there as well. Okay, 2 upright magic slots. So that's really interesting. So okay, so it's a multicolored blade, and just like our first multicolored blade with 2 upright magic slots. That's really interesting. I would have thought that they would have tried to differentiate this one a bit and given it some reverse magic, but oh well, there you go. Okay, so the reverse power is getting stronger. I intend to take this Keyblade as far as it can go. There you go, reverse speed. So 1 slot left will likely be either speed or power. Okay, Orichalcum, so that means, wow, we have 7 Orichalcum right now. We are well stocked for Orichalcum needs. I assumed that would have upgraded the look of the blade. I'm pretty sure it's always done that. Okay, well there you go, I guess I'm wrong. I thought Orichalcum always meant you're using an Orichalcum, now the Keyblade's going to change. Okay, here you go. Here's another one. Immediately afterwards. Okay, it's, what is going on? Anyway, we have 2 power slots, 2 magic slots, and 1 speed slot. So to compare that with Starlight, we have the same 2 upright magic slots, but they're in different places. Now this slot here for Starlight is in a really awkward place because it's the most powerful one on the blade so far at level 25. But you can't really take advantage of that because the first hit you do, you either have a buffer there to make your subsequent hits more powerful, or I guess you just throw your most powerful attack in from the start, but it's unbuffed, so it's not going to do as much damage as it potentially could, which is a bit of a shame. So obviously the game has progressed and, you know, real strategies have come out in this game, so it makes a lot more sense to rebalance where the stronger slots lie, and you'll notice that a lot of Keyblades from this point onwards all have stronger slots towards the back end of the Keyblade, which makes sense. And yet another Orichalcum. Still not going to change the look, are we? We're still staying the same, okay. That's really confusing to me, but I guess it's like the other ones where it was level 20? It's honestly been so long I can't even remember, to be honest. Okay, so yeah, there it is. Upright power, reverse power, 2 upright magics, 1 reverse speed. That is the final look of our Stroke of Midnight. And level 20, I believe this is where I'm going to have to stop because... Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Wow, 19 slots already. That's awesome. So we finish off with a 2.40 slot. That's our most powerful so far. And yeah, now we need Adamantite ore. So I believe we all have to wait until Wednesday until we can do the Adamantite ore quests. And you better believe I'm going to be trying to do them all within that one day, because I am impatient. So I don't want to have to wait a week and miss my chance. I'm going to try and do them all on that day. And I want to get a guide out. I want to get a guide out before everyone else. So I'll be there trying to get a guide done. I hope you guys will tune in and watch that. Beautiful. So there we go. We have the Stroke of Midnight. Now, let's have a quick little look what it looks like with some medals inside it. So we have a really 2 nice buffing slots at the front there. A lot of people have Sebastian, or a lot of people have, well, 5,000 people have Ariel and Flounder, which can fit into those first 2 slots really nicely. We also have the Illustrated Beauty and Beast, fits in that slot beautifully at the front, as well as, of course, the original Illustrated Kairi. So yeah, it is really set up to be quite a strong blade. If you guys were lucky enough, well, if you guys would choose to be VIP players, and you were lucky enough to keep them separate, the Illustrated Beauty and Beast, and you roll double activation on them, which you had a few chances to do. Again, it didn't have to roll in your favour, but if you were lucky enough that it did, Illustrated Beauty and Beast is going to sit right in that number 1 slot, and it's going to live on that Keyblade until the game stops working. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find anything better that would go in that slot. Then we move around, we have an Upright Magic slot, so we're still in the point where we're trying to use buff medals there. You can see it's only got 1.90. Which means it's not going to deal heaps of damage, but it is going to serve quite well as a buffer. So what could we potentially use there? Well, you know, Kairi herself could sit there. It doesn't really matter what attribute she sits on, because she will always deal... Sorry, Illustrated Kairi 2 could sit there. If you guys decided to pick her up. Where'd she go? Oops. Yeah, oops, wrong Kairi. So she could sit here, and she could sit there and look nice. I mean, again, the attribute doesn't matter, but, you know, your SCD would be, like, nicely checked because she's sitting in the in the reverse slot. Sorry, in the upright magic slot. Any of the organization members could fit in there quite nicely. In fact, our good mate Zigbar could sit in there quite nicely and deal super effective damage to any single target that he comes up against. But again, that's kind of like, we're still at the point where like you almost want more buffers there so that the final beast of the end tier with his 2.40 slot multiplier can do all the damage for you. As it always is, guys, like you'll be using the medals that you have to do the most damage. It's no good planning out for a medal that may not be out for a few months or that you don't have. But yeah, there's a little look there at those Keyblades. Obviously this one is a story one, so it's not as powerful. Just in terms of the pure multipliers, the numbers aren't quite as high as some of the other blades. But we'll get some adamantite ores into it, and that might change. Let's put him there. I don't know why I always like just like looking at the highest possible numbers I can put on a Keyblade, just so my strength is as high as it possibly can be. It doesn't mean anything, obviously, but I just like having it there because I'm a dork, I guess. But okay, so yeah, that's as high strength as my Keyblade could currently be right now. So yeah, this is a fun little video, guys, as we have a look at the new slots of the new Keyblades. Like I said, if you want to take your ones higher than what I have, you know, feel free. I'm just leaving options for myself. If I ever run into a situation where I need more power, and it's like, oh, okay, it's time to upgrade a Keyblade, and I don't have the materials for it, then I'm gonna, you know, be annoyed at myself. As it stands right now, I've got this window where I can squeeze a few more levels out of Counterpoint if I want to. I can squeeze a few more levels out of Sleeping Lion if I want to. And if I really, really want to, I can just start leveling Fenrir up immediately without even doing a single Proud Mode quest beyond 200. So that's my thoughts, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video. And yeah, like I said, check me out for the Stroke of Midnight Adamantite Ore quest, because I will be on those yeah, I'll be on those, absolutely. As soon as they come out, we're trying to figure out how to do them. So yeah, if you like the videos, guys, I really appreciate a like, a comment, or a subscription. It all helps me know that I'm doing the right thing and that you guys are enjoying the content. But if not, just want to say hi, leave a comment, just let me know what you're up to, what you need help with, and I'll try and make a video on that. Until then, guys, all the best, and I'll see you next time. Bye.